Hello everyone, welcome. In the previous video, I talked a little about overtraining. In this video, I will talk a little about vitamin D. I want to share this information with you. Okay, it's from National Institutes of Health, Office of Dietary Supplements. And from this one, I just want to read here the introduction, where they say that vitamin D, also referred to as calciferol, is a fat-soluble vitamin that is naturally present in a few foods, added to others, and available as a dietary supplement. It is also produced endogenously when ultraviolet rays from sunlight strike the skin and trigger vitamin D synthesis. Okay. And I also want to share with you some information here from the National Health System of the United Kingdom. Here, let's see. So, vitamin D helps to regulate the amount of calcium and phosphate in the body. These nutrients are needed to keep bones, teeth, and muscle healthy. A lack of vitamin D can lead to bone deformities in children and bone pain in adults. Okay, government, in this case of the United Kingdom, advice is that everyone should consider taking a daily vitamin D supplement during the autumn and winter. Now, good sources of vitamin D. From about late March to early April to the end of September, most people should be able to make all the vitamin D they need from sunlight. The body creates vitamin D from direct sunlight on the skin when outdoors. But between October and early March, we do not make enough vitamin D from sunlight. So, vitamin D is also found in a small number of foods. Sources include oily fish, such as salmon, sardines, red meat, liver, egg yolks, and fortified foods. Of course, another source of vitamin D is dietary supplements. How much vitamin D do I need? Children from the age of 1 year and adults need 10 micrograms of vitamin D a day. This includes pregnant and breastfeeding women and people at risk of vitamin D deficiency. Babies up to age of 1 year need 8.5 to 10 micrograms of vitamin D a day. Sometimes the amount of vitamin D is expressed as international units instead of micrograms. 1 microgram of vitamin D is equal to 40 international units. So the recommended dose is in this case equal to 400 international units, the same as 10 micrograms. Just one more part here that I want to read. What about, or what happens if I take too much vitamin D? Taking too many vitamin D supplements over a long period of time can cause too much calcium to build up in the body. This can weaken the bones and damage the kidneys and the heart. If you choose to take vitamin D supplements, 10 micrograms a day will be enough for most people. do not take more than 100 micrograms, in this case 4,000 international units, of vitamin D a day, as it could be harmful. This applies to adults, including pregnant and breastfeeding women and the elderly, and children aged 11 to 17 years. Okay, so there is a great disparity of recommendations concerning the quantity and the forms to intake vitamin D. Generally, national authorities tend to recommend more reduced doses than several experts and respectable experts that give their opinion based on their practice in their clinics. So they are quite qualified, but they tend to recommend higher doses than national authorities. In my opinion, what we should do is to go to some expert in the subject who can determine the dose and the form adequate for each of us, and to explain us what fundaments his or her recommendation. Next, you will be able to see a few images of my tennis training session. It was a complicated session because it was outdoors and there was a lot of wind. So I have technical difficulties in normal or favorable conditions. With wind, well, everything is even more difficult. In the next video, I will talk a little about the importance to stay hydrated. Now, if you liked the video, please give it a like, share your opinions in the comments, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. See you soon.